I gotta open the doors and the scales not open when we go out.
Well, hopefully that the way station isn't open in Scappoose, because if they are, we may have to be picking stuff up from the side of the road because they won't be able to deliver it. But yeah, looks like it's on its way. I'm excited. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Juanita. I am all about getting up, getting out, and getting active, whether it's gardening, DIY projects, or just going out for an excursion. Whatever it is that I am doing, I hope that I can encourage you, maybe teach you a trick or two of what I've been doing over several decades, really. And yeah, but just to bring you up to speed, if you haven't seen any of my other videos or didn't catch the one, I will link it up here where I announced that we sold our home. So yeah, we put our house in the market, we sold our home, and we purchased 5 acres about an hour away from Portland. Because now you will be able to see what it looks like from the time that we're doing inspections to the time that it looks like after we move in. And then from there on forward, you're going to be able to see everything that I create from the start, and what I keep, what I take away, and what I change. So I'm super, super excited about that. And so I hope you guys will continue to follow and be there for me, because I really appreciate you being here today. So what's in for this yard is that I'm going to do the very last garden maintenance that I will ever do on this yard. So let me just kind of reiterate a little bit about this yard. When I first met my husband in 2006, he had already purchased this home. I think he was already in here maybe a year or two when I met him. And then 3 years later, I moved in. I lived in the house for maybe a year or two before I started tackling it. But this whole yard was nothing but overgrown plants, and just either dead plants or plants that just weren't working, or there were a bunch of trees that were just dying or fell down, or you know, you name it. And this walking path that you see here, none of this was here. It was just nothing but dirt. And so I have worked over the past, I would say at least the past 16 years in this house, nothing but doing a bunch of gardening. So I laid every stone that you will see. I laid out every garden bed that you see, and I planted all the plants that you see here. There might be one or two, maybe a handful of plants that have remained in the yard that were originally in the yard, but it's very, very little. For the most part, we took out trees and plants and shrubs that no longer served the purpose of how I was doing the landscaping. And so, yeah. So now what you see today is what it looks like today, and what it will look like when I am done completely. So I'm going to walk you around, and I'm going to show you everything that I'm going to be doing. It's not going to be a whole lot, and it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be I want to leave this property to the new owners looking fairly good, just so that they can feel like they really have a beautiful yard, because it is a beautiful yard, and I created a lot of beauty in this yard. A lot of plants that I'd love to take that I can't, but you know what? I'll have 5 acres to plant whatever it is that I want over there. So, yeah, basically ending one chapter on opening another one, and it's pretty exciting. But let me take you around. Let me show you what I'm going to be doing. And then at the very end, I am going to walk you back through so you can see what the final garden is going to look like, where I'm never going to be touching it again. But I'm going to be doing a little bit of trimming. I'm going to be removing a lot of the container pots that I'm going to be taking with me, and just little things here and there, tidy up the gardens and stuff like that. But yeah, and then I'll also show you what I have done, especially for those of you that have been following me. You might see some changes, so if you see those changes, point them out in the comments below and let me know if you see any of those changes of what happened. But yeah, that being said, you guys, let's get started because it is getting pretty late in the afternoon. Okay, so this is, I always start at my driveway side so you'll be able to see what the garden looks like. But basically, I'm pretty much leaving everything the way it is over here. I did pull out some plants. I will be taking this little yard thing. So any yard decoration things I will be pulling out. So that will be going. But all the plants here are not going to touch them. I will deadhead this red valerian over here. I will be tidying up the Brennera and taking and deadheading it, all these old flowers, cleaning it up. Then nothing else over here. I will be removing this whole container here. And then over here, I'm going to be removing the container because that's going with me. And then I'll be tidying up this right here. And then what I will do here is this lamium, when it gets a lot of sun, gets really raggedy. So I'm going to kind of tidy it up a little bit here. And then I'm going to dig out this spiderwort, and I'm going to place it right in the center over here because I'm going to be removing that container. Outside of that, I'm not going to do anything else. Then my rocks I will be taking this container. As you can see, the rose bush, this is a white blanket rose bush. I will probably just deadheading it a little bit. I'm going to be removing this container and this container right here and that right over there. I'm going to go ahead and leave the lattice because it has the boulevard clematis on it and I don't want to disturb that. And then the rest of the yard, I will be tidying up this fern right here, and then this container I'm taking with me. I'm going to be taking this voodoo lily out. It's done. It's completely finished with blooms, and once it blooms, it just kind of does this. It's not even worth keeping it there, so I'm going to be pulling that out. I will be taking some of my rocks here as well as my little guy there. Then I will be trimming this shrub right here. This here is a blackbird euphorbia. I will be, if you see right here, you can see the new starts. So I'll be taking all the flower heads off and I will be trimming that down because I'm taking that container with me. Taking my containers here. In this area here, I'll be taking my cage and my chairs. The table and the side chairs are going to stay. I will be taking this. We'll be tidying up this St. John's wort over here. Let's see, and then over here, I don't know what happened to my broomstick, but I'm going to tidy it up and give it some fertilizer, and hopefully that'll take care of it and it'll pop back out. It will do fine. It just needs some TLC. I don't know. I think it just got showered with watering the lawn. When you overhead water on broomsticks, they tend to, and it's really hot, tends to burn them. So that's kind of what happened there. But I will be taking also my June Hosta over here, but everything else is going to stay. I will be removing this, and I will be tidying up the rose. This is a Shihuli rose bush. It's not doing well at all, but I'm going to trim it, and hopefully that new buds will come out. I'll also be taking my decorations with me, and then just kind of tidying up the yard here. So that's what I'm going to do. And then that will be the end of my maintenance for this whole entire yard. I will be removing any of the stained glass because that's going with me. I won't be doing that today, but those will be going with me. And then, of course, any yard things that you see will be going with me. So let's get started. With the Brenras over here, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be removing all of these dead, spent flowers that bloom for the springtime. So basically what you want to do when you cut these off, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but like right here is this one right here. Just follow it down to the base, and you can try pulling it or just snip it off, and then you'll get a second flush of blooms if you do that. Plus it makes the plant look a lot cleaner and just nicer overall. Now Brenras are deer and rabbit resistant, and they're also slug and snail resistant. The other thing is that they're also disease resistant. So that's not to say that they won't get diseased, but they're pretty hardy plants, and I've never had any issues with them. They do require, however, sun protection, because if you don't, the leaves will burn. So they like bright light, but sun protected from the harsh sun. They're a great companion for hostas, and in fact I like them almost more than hostas, because hostas do get beat up by slugs and snails, whereas these ones don't. This particular Brenra got really big. I mean, I was not expecting this to get that big within a year. I mean, it was pretty small when I got it, and this is a year old, and look at how large this is. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, that looks really nice. Hey, look, I've got my first daylily. This actually literally bloomed today, just a few minutes ago. I absolutely love this one. This is an old lily, but yeah, this just looks so much nicer. So let's go now over to the other side. Oh, I need to deadhead this. Okay, so now I'm gonna deadhead the red valerian. This is really easy. Pretty much, you just wanna come down to where you've got two branches. So here's the flower. It's got really large leaves. You just want to follow it down to where it has a new start and a cluster. That's where you want to basically trim it at. And you can pinch it off. They're very easy to pinch off. And they'll bloom all summer long as long as you deadhead them. Otherwise they'd look straggly. There, I mean that was pretty easy. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, I'm gonna empty this container and then I'll meet you over on the other side. going to trim this. I usually do it after it's come out, but typically it'd be a lot better if you just came in the fall and just cut it straight across right there. Then you wouldn't have to deal with cleaning it up like I'm doing right here. But if you do, just go down and cut everything that's brown, basically, and new shoots will come up. And the reason I'm cleaning it up is not only to show you, but because I don't want them to feel that it's dead and come and just take it out, because that would be heartbreaking. Now, because I'm not taking the root ball out, that will come back next year. Now with my phobia, I'm just going to cut it all the way down to where the new starts are. Okay, you guys, it is really late. I'm sure it's close to 9 o'clock, if not 9 o'clock. Who knows? But it is late, so I'm going to call it a night. Then I'm going to probably get up really early and clean this backyard as far as the beds. It's basically not a whole lot, so I'm not going to bring you to that. And yeah, I still have a lot more to go. I've got to take all the covers because a lot of the decorations are going to be gone. The only thing really remaining in here is going to be the fan and this rattan chair and the theater chair. I still need to remove that as well as a few containers. And so yeah. So okay, I'm rambling, so I'm going to call it a night. Love you. I'll see you guys shortly. Okay, guys, I am back. I'm going to give you a roundabout real quick, and then I'm going to circle back around just so you guys can see a different perspective of the yard. So for those of you that have been following me for a long time, you may notice what's missing. But for those of you that are just starting to click in and looking at this for the first time, just go catch my other videos. You'll be able to see the big vast difference. But there's a lot of pots missing, rocks missing, decorations missing, but it still looks beautiful again. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys being here with me today. I love you. I really, really appreciate you. I know I said that, but I just want to emphasize that because I do. I know that I have been, kind of not present, and that's not like me. But, I am packing, and packing a 3-story house is a lot of work. So, yeah. So if you're new, stick around because it's going to be a whole different adventure going forward. And thank you so much for being here. Okay, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get started before it gets too dark that you can't see anything. Okay, so I'm going to start from my driveway, as I always do, just so you can see what it looks like. And I think I've already talked about what I thinned out, but if I didn't, basically tidied up and cleaned up and deadheaded like the valerian, red valerian over here. And then I did take my one spider lily because that was a gift to me. And then on this side, as you can see, my container is no longer here. But outside of that, everything looks good. Now I did move the spiderwort from here over here where the container was. And it just looks so much tidier, cleaner. And I think it's going to look perfect for the new owners. And I am propagating this snow sickle and propagating the ruby slipper. Let's see. Then over here, I really didn't do anything. I removed my purple mess, and I think it was called a purple mess. I'll put the name down in case I'm wrong. And then I had a pile of rocks right here, my spiritual rocks. I removed them. And then I've got a lot of the daylilies, and those are ready to bloom. They are gorgeous. I wish I could take these, but I'll just buy me some more for the new place. And yeah, didn't do anything else over here. I did remove another stack of stones that you really couldn't see because it kind of fell. And then I did have a pot here as well as right here, which I removed. My butterfly shrub is starting to bloom. Doesn't that look beautiful? Let's see. Then just pretty much just tidied up over here. Removed all the dead flowers from spring. Looks like some new ones are coming up. And just kind of cleaned this area up. I tidied up this rose bush, which I don't think I'm going to take it. I was going to take it, but I think it'll be fine. Let's see. I did take the one container that had red valerian over here. I did deadhead this one, so it looks really pretty. And then I cleaned up this rainbow fist pyrea. I'm forgetting, you guys. I'm forgetting the names. And then I do need to trim this one stem off. I mean, it's going to bloom, but this is my butterfly, what was my tree. And as you can see, all the blooms are coming up. I am trying to propagate this one because this has been in this house from the time that my husband bought it. So I really want to get a piece of that to take to the new place. But if it doesn't propagate, we'll I guess that's just the way it is. But yeah, I will be trimming this off. But yeah, I'm going to trim that off. And then I took out, right over here, I did take out the voodoo lily. But it will come back next year. Then over here, I took my container, because I am taking my containers. And then I just tidied up over here. Now, I left those bags of stone, gravel, and stuff because I never did get around to fixing this little corner. And if I have any time, I will fix that. If not, I will leave that material for the new owners to fix. But yeah, cleaned out the pergola. It's nice and tidy, looks inviting. This container right here is actually a lot of what I am propagating. Let me show you. And it all looks extremely healthy. This whole side right here is the snow sickle, oak leaf hydrangea, and then on this side is the ruby slipper over in this side. And yeah, I will keep you updated with that. I will be taking my pinnacle hydrangea over there. But yeah, it looks nice and tidy for them. And I will be leaving the lights again. And then I cleaned out this whole bed over here. And now everything is not 100% perfect. It's not going to be 100% perfect because, again, I have this large eucalyptus tree right above me here that actually throws down a lot of its leaves. And so it's a constant chore, but, you know, it's doable. And it's not as bad as it used to be. Now, I did take down the Shahuli rose bush down in hopes that it'll pop back out. And then just real quick, I've got some yarrow here, some pot of gold, coreospis, and then I've got some echinacea and some black-eyed Susans over here. And then you can see now how wonderful this hot lip Sylvia is doing. Remember, I took it way down because it practically died. And I said, well, probably survive, and look at it now. And then I took out my trellis here, and now they have this whole bed area to garden in. And then I did really prune this broomstruck hydrangea, and I gave it some fertilizer, and it's starting to wake up. And then I did divide the June Hosta and left them a little one over here. That one's going to grow and be about as big as it was before by next year. And then I still have my Hudson Bay over here, and I believe this is an Island Breeze over on this side. And then my St. John's wort suffered this year, practically killed it, but it's all coming back. Yeah, and that's where that is. So, and then again, just kind of clean this up. Again, it's not perfect, but it is what it is. And again, I will be taking my chandelier and both of the stained glass. But that's about it. We're almost there. Getting really close. Okay, so now that I took you from the front to the back, let me just circle back, show you the end results. And again, that container in this plant will be leaving, and the wood. But this is what it looks like now. And if you see anything that's missing, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, and what you see is no longer there. And by the way, my chimney will be going as well. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really just kind of am doing this as well for my own documentation, so I can kind of look back and see what it looked like before leaving. Not like I don't have 1,000 or hundreds of videos out there already to be able to see that, but I'll be able to see what was blooming. Today is actually July 1st. Okay, over here I did take that limb off of the butterfly shrub, but you can see how big and full it is now. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching.
Every time that my mind slip, I just see my past life. Having dreams in a dream, I wonder why I carried on with the things that made you lose your mind. There's no way I can undo what I've done.
I also cleaned my rose bush, and it looks really beautiful. And I got a lot more blooms as well. Forgot to point that out.
What's so bad about that? So why won't you follow? Why won't you follow me home? I know I can't make you mine. Yes, I ran out of town. There's no hope for me. I fell down the bottom, so I fell down way deep. But if I can't have the real you, then let me make a 3D print.